I want to talk about crypto and Bitcoin. I know we talk a lot about it, but it's becoming, well, you've seen what's happened to the price. Michael Novogratz is here. Let me ask you this, and we've been going back and forth about it, about the regulation involved, which is that you said you thought we sort of got past the sort of regulatory hurdle. And what I keep worrying or wondering about is if Bitcoin or any of these cryptocurrencies become truly a big deal, all of a sudden the G7, which just had a meeting about Libra and everything else, will say, you know what, we're going to actually make the on-ramps to this. Because we can't actually regulate the actual currency, because it's not a fiat currency, we're going to regulate the on-ramps in a remarkable way, and that would complicate the whole picture.
So that's being done already, right? It's KYC, and know your customer, and anti-money laundering is being really strictly enforced here in the U.S. and in Europe. And so what's the good news is there are lots of institutional players that are coming into the space that are going to make access much easier for credible players. So if it's Fidelity or TD Ameritrade is working on being able to, buy it right through your brokerage account, or New York Stock Exchange backed, which is finally getting started in I think the next 6 weeks. And so on-ramps in a credible way that the regulators are okay with are happening. And so,
are we sure that they're okay with it, or they just haven't caught up to it yet?
I think
and that's
okay.
The other piece of it.
Listen, if you're the Federal Reserve or the Treasury and Bitcoin was being used as a currency and was starting to eat away at the dollar, you'd get really nervous. And that's why I think they're more focused on Libra or these stablecoin projects than they are Bitcoin. Because if you put Bitcoin in the digital gold space,
right,
it's just another asset, right? Gold's $8 trillion. Even if Bitcoin got to $1 million, that's only $2 trillion. And so Bitcoin's got a long way to go before it's got any.
How many winners can there be? I mean, is there enough room for all cryptos,
no,
or is
not.
Bitcoin going to be the one? Is Bitcoin going to be the one because of being first, really one of the first?
I think Bitcoin's going to win this digital gold, and then there's going to be a big fight over what becomes Web 3.0. Ethereum and Definity and EOS. There are probably 15 to 25 credible projects that are trying to be this global supercomputer that processes and authenticates data that you can build on top of. That's 3 to 4, 5 years away. Those are really venture bets. And so it's hard for the market cap to get so high like Bitcoin. When you think about the entire cloud, if we took Amazon's cloud and Microsoft's cloud and Alibaba's cloud and looked at the market cap of the cloud, it's less than $1 trillion. So it's 1/8 or 1/10 of gold. And so that other group in round one is fighting to be the cloud in lots of ways.
That's what people talk. Okay, so there's a halving in May of 2020, and then there's maybe one or two more by 2025. But the stock to flow shows $1 million in just 6 years. Is that? I mean, you don't think that? Do you have to believe in the Easter Bunny to believe that, or is that really possible?
You have to believe in adoption, and so there's a college endowment meeting today to decide should they put money into a venture fund with Bitcoin or Bitcoin directly. One thing that Libra did.
A major college endowment fund that we would know.
And yes. People say, well, where is the million?
And Harvard and Yale and Stanford are already in. Mm-hmm. And so one thing that Libra did, when you saw MasterCard and Visa and PayPal and Uber all sign up, it credentialized crypto. And so every institutional player is looking at how do they get their foothold in. All of them. They're not all in yet. Most aren't in. But they're all getting closer. And as those guys move in, first to Bitcoin and then to broader crypto, that's what drives this next price move.
Because that's what people ask, is where's the money going to come from to make... And they're asking it in sort of a greater fool, sort of an antiquated notion of what's really happening here. And that's not really what's happening.
No, it's
not a greater fool.
It's real, but it's serious investors.
But some people think that gold is about the greater fool because there is no underlying value. I know you think that there's value because of the work produced to create a Bitcoin.
But
the flip side of that is... I said to him during the commercial break, I could dig a hole right here for spend a whole year, hours upon hours doing it, and you could decide that hole is worthless.
I know, and people say there's scarcity. Well, doggy do. If it becomes scarce all of a sudden, you're still not going to want it, no matter how scarce
and so
it
that's
is.
But remember that.
And I can tell you, I've got 3 dogs. You do not want it.
Beyond, I was with a music publishing company yesterday, and we were literally looking at, imagine taking Bob Marley's, publishing rights, tokenizing it and selling out to the public. You can buy part of Bob Marley's future. And being able to show directly how many radio plays, how many movie plays, all the accounting built in the token.
That's not cryptocurrency. That's just a
that's the tokenization.
Blockchain.
That's blockchain. It's crypto. But that's coming. And so emboldened in this whole idea is as we're moving to a digital
But that doesn't do anything for Bitcoin necessarily. And then there's the view that all of these guys in Silicon Valley are trying to build on top of Ethereum still. And what's that going to be worth or not?
Well, so what I said, if Ethereum wins that battle to be Web 3.0, it'll be worth a lot, right?
More than Bitcoin?
No, I don't think so, because I think that's...
Even though that has quote-unquote utility, supposedly, according to the Valley guys who are programming this stuff.
What do you think should be worth more, gold or the whole cloud? Cloud's got a lot of utility. We use it every frickin' day, right? All this data is being shoved up there right now. Gold's got this special case of store of value.
It does, and it's beautiful and it's great for jewelry, but you cannot send it over to Japan instantaneously to cover something for free, and it never will. So that's the utility of that. It imbues it with value as well, the crypto.